Hey, what's up guys, Matt here with my review of the LG G2. This is LG's flagship device and it packs a pretty powerful punch with some pretty unique design features. The screen on this device is front and center and it's pretty big, coming in at 5.2 inches, but surprisingly it doesn't feel all that big in the hand, and this is thanks to the tiny bezels that are around the screen. I really enjoyed these. It really makes the phone look like it's all screen, there's no wasted space, and there's just something really sleek about it. It looks great. The screen is very sharp as you would expect, but more importantly, at least to me, the color accuracy is very good. Everything just looks the way it should. The viewing angles are also very nice, and overall it's just a really great screen to look at. Now, as you get past the screen, the only other thing you really see is a speaker for phone calls and the front-facing camera. There aren't any buttons, there's not even any buttons on the side. And you might wonder how you actually turn this on. Well, LG decided to change it up a bit and put all the controls on the back of the phone. Now, it sounds a little weird at first, but it actually works pretty well. The buttons are right where my finger would be normally, so it's pretty easy to find and I know exactly what I'm hitting when I hit it. LG was very smart though and added a double tap to unlock feature so that if you have the phone on a table or you just can't get to the back buttons, you just double tap on the screen and it unlocks it, and I found myself using that more often than not. It was pretty useful. On the bottom of the phone we have the micro USB port, the headphone jack, and the speaker. The speaker was just okay. It wasn't mind-blowing, but it wasn't terrible either. And on the back of the phone, again, we have those controls, so the power button and the volume rockers, and above that we have the 13 megapixel rear-facing camera. This is a pretty great camera overall. I found that I was able to get pretty decent results, but I also found myself fighting with the camera to get those results. I found myself having to take the same picture over and over just to get the results I wanted. But once I got the shot, the colors were pretty decent and they were nice and sharp. One thing, however, is that the dynamic range was not very good. If there was a bright sky and a darker subject, it was very hard to get one or the other exposed correctly, and you just had to fight for it, like I said. But again, once I got the shot, the picture does look very good, and also the low light for this camera is pretty great. The camera was able to pick up a lot of detail while keeping noise and processing relatively low, and it looked pretty nice. On the video side of things, this camera shoots 1080p video, and like with the photos, it's just pretty good. Not bad by any means. The color representation was good and the sharpness was there, which was nice. Overall, this camera is a pretty good one, and it's one of the better ones on an Android device out there, but it certainly isn't the best. On the inside, this phone is being powered by a Snapdragon 800 quad-core processor at 2.3 GHz, 2 GB of RAM, and an Adreno 330 GPU. This phone performed very well. I never found myself waiting for things to load, and it handled pretty much everything I threw at it with absolutely no problem. And powering all that is the pretty big battery inside. It comes in at 3000 mAh, which is on the larger side for most phones. Battery life was pretty great. I was easily able to get through an entire day with everything on full brightness, and I found myself only having to charge it a few hours before bed. It's a pretty great performer, and with moderate use you could probably get a day and a half out of it, which is awesome. On the software side of things, the G2 is running Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, which has been outdated for quite some time now. But with like a lot of manufacturers, LG puts their own spin on it, giving it a whole new look and adding some features. Whether you like the skin or not is pretty much up to you, but I found it to be rather clunky. It looks very similar to Samsung's TouchWiz UI, and they're both Korean companies, so it does make sense. But much like TouchWiz, there are a ton of things added, which to me are just there for the sake of adding things. They don't really bring anything to the table. Besides the double tap to unlock, I didn't really find anything in software that was useful that I don't already have in stock Android. It just seems like a lot of clutter. This is a trend that will hopefully die out pretty soon in the upcoming years with newer versions of Android, but for now this is what you get, and it's not terrible, it's just not the best. So overall, the LG G2 is a pretty average phone in my eyes. It doesn't really bring anything crazy to the table. They did take some leaps with their new design with the buttons on the back, but besides that, there's nothing really here that screams out that this is the phone you should buy. That being said, this is a great device with an awesome camera and stellar battery life, and if there's something about it that caught your eye, I'd take a look at it because I think you would enjoy it a lot. So that's my review of the LG G2. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to hit that thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like I said, my name's Matt, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!